Dude, it's almost 10 p.m. in the evening. It's the world is well, not the world. The country's on fire, man. It's been a weird weekend and Monday. There's looting, there's rioting, there's protesting too. And I'm not lumping all those together because we all know that the protesters are just out there protesting. That's it. That's all they're doing. And then you got a bunch of jackasses who are like, oh, let's go break into some buildings, oh, and let's steal everything, cause this is a great excuse to go do that. And then you got stupid anarchists thinking that it's hilarious to go and start trouble and incite violence, and just there's a video online right now of a guy who was breaking up a sidewalk. He actually had a hammer and was beating this sidewalk, just breaking it up so he could get chunks of concrete out, with really the only reason of throwing them. Well, there were a few other protesters that were around, and they saw what he was doing. And the weird thing is that the cops, they had a line, that they were, standing their ground. And there were a couple of dozen cops, but of course they had the orders to just kind of stay there and not get involved. And so what ended up happening was other protesters were looking at each other like, "Hey, this guy's gonna start some trouble." So one guy takes it upon himself to go and grab the guy who was breaking up the sidewalk by the arms. A couple of other people join in, and they basically apprehend this guy. And they literally walk the guy over to the cops, who are, again, they're in their riot gear. And they're like, "Hey, arrest this guy! Arrest this guy! He's looking to start trouble." And so the guy who was breaking up the sidewalk, they pull him in, and then he was holding on to the guy who was first trying to apprehend him. He gets pulled in too. The cops eventually separate them. The good guy who was trying to stop the anarchist from causing trouble, they let him go. He went about his way. But the guy who was about to start a whole bunch of crap, he got arrested, which is good. And there was no huge fight, no huge brawl that broke out or anything. There was a tussle, obviously, but they marched that guy right over to the cops, said, "Hey, this guy's about to cause some trouble," because obviously he's already destroying property for what he was doing. So that in itself is already a crime. And so they hand him over to the police. The police arrest him and take him away. And the guy who apprehended him, they let him go free. And I thought that was beautiful. It was amazing. I was like, yes, that is what we need. These troublemakers who are out there just causing problems, man. Because because 99.9% of the people out there, they're just protesting, man. But of course, it's that 0.1% that's out there, breaking glass and robbing and looting and doing some stupid stuff. They're the ones causing all the problems. While most people are out there just, protesting like they should. But I guess that's my word on what's going on right now. Because, what can you really say besides what's going on? In fact, in Discord, one of our regulars got into a bit of a heated discussion with another one of our regulars, and I wouldn't say they were fighting, but like I said, it was a very heated discussion on race relations, that sort of stuff. And one of them left, which is, hey, it sucks that they left, but that's kind of how it is right now, man. Race relations are a real touchy topic right now in the U.S. They've always been kind of a touchy subject. But every time something like what has happens here in our country, which unfortunately is way too often, it's always going to get to be a really odd kind of situation. So I hope they come back. They've been with us for a long time. I hope they find their way back. I think they will. But I think they left mostly as just kind of like, okay, I don't want to deal with this right now. And so they left, and that's fine. So when they come back, you're welcome back. Come back to the Discord. Don't worry about it. Everybody, even friends, have disagreements. That's fine. Just agree to disagree and try to move on. That aside, I guess we're playing some Duel Links. I kind of didn't really want to do Duel Links. I was thinking of maybe just doing a whole show based on what's going on in the country, but it feels a little bit like everybody kind of has their own opinion. And the show to do a politically motivated show specifically about what's going on. It's kind of like there are so many people out there commenting and giving their 2 cents on what's going on that it's like, okay, what else can be said that hasn't already been said? We already know what the problem is. We know what we have to do. It's just a matter of, are we going to actually, shut our mouths and get our feet moving and do what we have to? Or is it just going to be another incidence of, a black man gets killed by the police, people start protesting, some riots break out, some looting breaks out, and then eventually it just dies down and it goes away? I hope it doesn't. Because as it is right now, man, something really, really needs to change, man. It's just, I always thought, and I said this before, I always thought that by the time I became an adult, or even to where the age I am now, that we will have gotten past the whole race thing. I really thought that. And that was, this is when I was like, 13, 14 years old. Because even back then, when I was that age, things were getting better. I mean, it was still, there were still problems, obviously, but things were getting better. And I thought, by the time I'm X years old in a couple of decades, hopefully we will have found our way. And that won't be an issue anymore. And then when President Obama got elected, I was like, wow, this is, because it was a big deal. It really was for minorities across the U.S. to see a minority president. It was almost like, how can I put it? It was almost like you could feel the winds of change coming. And it was quite enjoyable. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, Obama was the greatest president of all time. He had his problems. I had my disagreements with some things that he did. He wasn't perfect. But it was still good to see that we were no longer, as a nation, we were no longer afraid to have a black man as a president, or a person of color. It didn't matter, be them black or Asian or Hispanic, Native American. But it feels like we took a big step back. And I wanted to believe for a while that once the whole election in 2016 was over, I wanted to believe that, okay, hopefully we're not really taking a step back. Hopefully this is, not going to be as insane as it seems, but it really is. We have come into uncharted territory. And it's, there are so many things that have happened just in these last couple of years that I have never seen in my lifetime. And I think that's kind of why it's a bit shocking. Obviously, the human malware thing, I'd read about them, obviously, in the history books. I never thought that I would actually live through one. And we are. We're still in it. People forget about that, but it's still going. And it worries me because everybody's out there protesting and on all that, and everybody's getting really close to each other. So I think there's going to be a pretty big influx of people being diagnosed. And there was. I actually checked yesterday. And just yesterday, there was there was almost like 13,000 new cases in the U.S. alone. So, yeah, that's still going. And then, of course, there have been several times where there have been riots in various cities across the U.S. I've seen that, 1992, and of course we've got this year, and then what was it, a few years ago in Ferguson. When all that happened, there was some. It wasn't. I mean, compared to what's happening right now, it wasn't that bad, but there was still looting. There was still rioting. Thankfully, that only lasted, I think, a couple of nights. Now things have really just kind of gone off the rails here. And again, I don't think it's the protesters at all. Because again, a protester is out there just protesting. They're just going out holding their signs, and that's fine. But when you get crowds of individuals looking to just cause problems and looking to go and find excuses to go and loot and steal from others, that's unfortunately, whenever there are protests nowadays, it seems there are always those looking to take advantage of it for all the wrong reasons. And it's not a very good time in the United States right now. It really isn't. And I've actually had people tell me that I have some sort of problem with Donald Trump on a personal level, and it's like, well, no, I don't personally know the man. All I know is what everybody else really knows is, what he does on television and whatnot. And all I'm seeing right now is that we are a country that desperately needs a leader, and we don't have one. He's not really doing anything to bring the country together. And that's what we need. In 1992, when everything started going down in LA with the riots, President George H.W. Bush got on television and he made a very clear and concise declaration stating that we needed to come together as a country. And that, yes, there is anger, there is resentment, and we need to do our best to work through that so that we can, become better people. That was in 1992. And then I think right toward the end of Obama's tenure, there was everything that was happening in Ferguson. Similar situation there. Obama came out, hey, we need to learn from this, and obviously things need to change. Unfortunately, things didn't change, and now we're in the situation again. So you would hope that the president, whoever that person may be, would come out and do a very similar thing. Hey, we need to come together. We need to stand by each other and get through this. But we have not seen our current president do that. And there have been times where our current president has done something that felt like the right thing to do. And in that case, I actually have given him credit. So no, it's not any sort of personal vendetta against our current president. But I think even the people that drape themselves in the flag and call themselves MAGA would probably say, okay, maybe the president should come out and say something. Maybe he needs to stop with the tweeting and stop being so decisive with his language as far as dividing, or actually not decisive, but divisive with his language. The last thing we need to see or hear from the president is a comment like, when the looting starts, the shooting starts. We don't need the president quoting racists from our not that long ago past in his tweets. We don't need that. I'm just as against the looting as everybody else is, because I've always wanted to own a business like a brick and mortar store. And I think to myself, if I were in that situation and people were smashing in my windows and breaking into my store trying to steal merchandise, I wouldn't have any other choice but to break out the gun and say, hey, if you come into my store, I will shoot you. I don't want to shoot you, but you're not giving me a choice. Yeah, it's just I feel for the business owners. I mean, some people are like, "Oh, nobody cares about these big corporations like Target." And, well, okay, I understand that, but a lot of these businesses that are being hit are not big mega corporations. They're not Amazons. They're not Walmarts. They're not Targets. These are mom and pop shops in some cases. Like people are like, "Oh, it's just a Starbucks." Well, that Starbucks that got hit, that one that got hit this past weekend in LA. Word is that that is not a corporate owned store. That's a franchise, meaning that yes, they have the Starbucks name, but Starbucks does not actually own that business. They don't have anything to do with it other than, okay, you can use our name and we'll sell you our coffee and then you resell it because you're a franchisee. That means that an individual owns that business. And people don't seem to be able to differentiate the two. So yeah, even though if you attack a store like a Starbucks, it may be owned by an individual and not by the corporation. Benny is saying here, why raid a coffee shop? I think it was more that it was an easy target. It was on the corner. There were no cops around. And they had lots of windows. And once all the windows were broken out, some people were like, screw it, let's go inside. And so some people went inside. I'm pretty sure that's kind of how it started. A few people went inside, were probably looking around, saw some guy start grabbing things, and they were just like, well, screw it, there's nobody around. So they start grabbing things, and then other people see them, and, it's like a domino effect. And then, of course, some guy goes in there and tries to light the damn place on fire. So it very quickly got out of control. Finally, the police did get to that location. But by that time, the shop was it was ransacked. All the windows were busted out. All the machines and stuff were toast. And it sucks too, because a lot of those machines that are in there, those coffee makers, those are not cheap machines. They are actually quite expensive because they're specialty machines, like the machines that make espresso and stuff like that. Those are specialty machines. And those can get very expensive. They can cost several $1,000s. So to have even one of those broken sucks for a business owner. To have all of them taken out, that business might not come back. I mean, I'm sure they have insurance, but you kind of have to think, okay, well, I've got insurance, and they're gonna pay me for my losses. But then I have to think, do I want to go and rebuild the store, or do I just want to, cut my losses and just not worry about it anymore? I would be tempted to say, you know what, just give me however much you're going to give me for my losses at the store, and I'm not going back. Because why would you? Why would, if I have my business and I employ, 3 or 4 people, small business, and then I have a crew of looters come by and just destroy it and rob me, and I have insurance, yeah, great, I can replace all that. But at the same time, I have to think, when could this happen again? Especially with everything that's going on. Why would I want to go and take that risk and open another store? And it sucks, because most business people have that business because they like to do that. That's their thing. They want to have a business. They want to run a store. They want to, they've worked hard for that sort of stuff. Oh crap! I didn't change my deck. But and of course, if that guy or girl, whoever it is, decides, well, I'm not gonna reopen the store. If he decides to do that now, suddenly his employees are laid off. So they got, suddenly that's, 3 or 4. Well, at a Starbucks, you can only imagine how many people work there. I'm sure most of them are part-timers, but still, I mean, you've got maybe 25, 30 people who probably work at that Starbucks, in varying shifts. And now those people, it's been hard enough on them already because those shops have had to be closed because of human malware. And now that we thought we were kind of getting over the hump with the human malware, certain locations, certain stores started opening up again so people could return to work. But now that store has been destroyed. So now those people are really out of a job. That was It's just, these some people can't catch a break right now, man. And I feel for them, I really do. Because those people, I'm sure some of those people were just wanting to get, they're like, dude, I gotta pay my rent, I gotta get back to work, and now they can't go back to work because there is no work to go back to. The shop is gone. It's destroyed. And that's probably happening with a lot of stores. Again, same situation. Yeah, they're like, oh, well, who cares? It's a Nike store. Let's go rob it. Okay. Yeah, you go and you break into the Nike store and you rob it and you loot it. But your average everyday American still works there. Again, Nike store, you've got probably 25 people on staff that run that store. Now, all of them may be out of work. Same thing at Target. Those Targets weren't just looted, they were just destroyed. And now all those people, there's probably a couple hundred people that work at that Target, and now all of them are, for at least an extended period of time, going to be out of work. And they're not rich. They're like you and me, just trying to get by, trying to pay the rent, trying to feed their kids, and now they can't do that. Now they have to go on unemployment. Yeah, the unemployment will take care of them. That's good. But at the same time, people are wondering, how bad is the economy going to get? Well, we're only making it worse. And to answer Benita's question, did you see the Vatican hack? I did not see the exact Vatican hack. I did see some of the stuff that Anonymous had done, apparently. What he's talking about is that Anonymous spent this past weekend hacking various agencies. And one of the places that they hacked was they hacked into... apparently they hacked into some Vatican archive, and other people were saying that they hacked into a bunch of sealed court documents, documents that were under seal that were never supposed to be made public. And well, they hacked them and they released them all. So all of those things are going to start getting exposed now. One of the main things I think that came out of that was, and the funny thing is that this particular document that I saw wasn't even under seal, from what I understand. It was actually out there, but it was one of those things that just kind of got buried and was never talked about. It was, and again, people are like, oh, you're attacking the president. No, I'm telling you what I'm seeing here, man. There are some court documents that came out about a Jane Doe who filed a civil suit against Jeffrey Epstein and our current president. This was back before he was president. This was back in 1994, I think it was. But, people already know that Epstein and Trump were, I don't know how close they were, but they obviously knew each other. And they spent time with each other. But, again, this was one of those things that was just supposed to be kind of buried and never talked about. But the complaint was filed by a woman who, at the time in 1994, was reportedly 13 years old. She was invited by Epstein to some various parties, and apparently he had promised her that he would help her get into modeling and start a career for her. Well, according to this court document, in one of those parties, our current United States president took her to a room and proceeded to well, I don't want to get flagged by YouTube, but I guess proceeded to violate her the way you should not violate a child. Of course, you shouldn't violate anybody in that way unless it's consenting, but of course, this person, being a 13-year-old child, doesn't, they have no way to consent because they are considered a child. But apparently, our current president did those things to her. She begged him to stop, and he said no. He continued. In fact, I can probably look up the court documents right now. I saw them here earlier. Let me see if I can just bring them up here real quick. I'm pretty sure, because I saw them in a PDF, and then somebody posted them on a file sharing site. It's a very interesting read. It's not very long either because it's just a complaint really. Where is this? I know I saw this here. No. Oh, here we are. Here we go. I'll just kind of start it off here. In the United States District Court, Southern District of New York, Jane Doe, proceeding under a pseudonym, again to protect her identity, versus Donald J. Trump and Jeffrey E. Epstein. They are listed as the defendants. Jury trial demanded. Complaint for bad things. Criminal bad things acts. Bad things abuse, forcible touching, assault, battery, intentional and reckless infliction of emotional distress, duress, false imprisonment, and defamation. Everyone that posted gets canceled. Plaintiff Jane Doe. Here, I'll kind of read over just kind of the big parts here. Plaintiff was subject to acts of very, very bad things you should never do to a child. Very bad things you should never do to a child. Misconduct, criminal bad things, acts, abuse, forcible touching, assault, battery, intentional and reckless infliction of emotional distress, duress, false imprisonment, and threats of death and or serious bodily injury by the defendants that took place at several parties during the summer months of 1994. The parties were held by defendant Epstein at a New York City residence that was being used by defendant Epstein at 9 East 71st Street in Manhattan. Oh boy. During this period, plaintiff was a minor of age 13 and was legally incapable under New York law of consenting to intercourse and the other contacts detailed herein under the New York penal law, and they list the penal code there. The terrible things to do to a child in the first, second, and third degrees, terrible misconduct, criminal acts in the first, second, and third degrees, blank abuse in the first, second, and third degrees, and forcible touching. Let me kind of go through a little further here. Okay, battery. Tiffany Doe, who is the person that filed the complaint. A witness was an employee of defendant Epstein. Courts have discretion to allow proceeding anonymously. Okay, that basically says that she doesn't have to reveal who she is. Obviously, the judge knows who she really is. But because, she could possibly be put in danger, he's allowing her to do this anonymously. Plaintiff was enticed by promises of money and a modeling career to attend a series of parties with other similarly situated minor females held at a New York City residence that was being used by defendant Jeffrey Epstein. Defendant Trump initiated bad contact with plaintiff at 4 different parties. On the 4th and final bad encounter with defendant Trump tied plaintiff to a bed, exposed himself to plaintiff, and then proceeded to forcibly do bad things to plaintiff. During the course of the savage bad attack, plaintiff loudly, and I'm obviously changing some words here, plaintiff loudly pleaded with defendant Trump to stop, but with no effect. Defendant Trump responded to plaintiff's pleas by violently striking plaintiff in the face with his open hand and screaming that he would do whatever he wanted. This is a pain to read, man. Immediately following this bad thing, defendant Trump threatened plaintiff that were she ever to reveal any of the details of this bad thing and physical abuse of her by defendant Trump, plaintiff and her family would be physically harmed if not killed. Defendant Epstein had blank contact with plaintiff at 2 of the parties. The second blank encounter with defendant Epstein took place after plaintiff had been abused by defendant Trump. Defendant Epstein forced himself upon plaintiff and proceeded to blank her in both of the areas in that particular region of the body, if you know what I mean, despite her loud pleas to stop. Defendant Epstein then attempted to strike plaintiff about the head with his closed fists while he angrily screamed at plaintiff that he, defendant Epstein, rather than defendant Trump, should have been the one who took plaintiff's modesty, before plaintiff finally managed to break away from defendant Epstein. Wow, this is hard. The threats of violence against plaintiff and her family continued, this time from defendant Epstein, who again reiterated that plaintiff was not to reveal any of the details of his blank and physical abuse of her, or else specifically plaintiff and her family would be seriously harmed if not killed. So essentially what that's saying is that defendant Trump and defendant Epstein forced themselves onto this little girl, and although she pleaded with them to stop, they didn't. And they basically told her, if you say anything about this to anybody, we will kill you and your family. Getting back to the document, as a direct and proximate result of the assaults and bad things perpetrated by defendants upon her, plaintiff has suffered stress, emotional distress, and mental pain and suffering, as well as adverse physical consequences. They don't really get into the details, I don't think, of the actual physical consequences. Physical pain and suffering. Direct proximity. Okay, moving on. Both defendants let plaintiff know that each was a very wealthy, powerful man, and indicated that they had the power, ability, and means to carry out their threats. Indeed, defendant Trump stated that plaintiff shouldn't ever say anything if she didn't want to disappear like Maria, a 12-year-old female that was forced to be involved in the third incident with defendant Trump, and that plaintiff had not seen since that third incident, and that he was capable of having her whole family killed. Wow. Moving on again. On information and behalf on or about April 28, 2016, defendant Trump provided the following statement to American Media Inc. and or Radar Online LLC for publication on at least their website, radaronline.com, regarding plaintiff's complaint EDCV16, and it kind of names the case number here, filed in the United States District Court of Central District of California. Quote from Mr. Trump: "The allegations are not only categorically false, but disgusting at the highest levels and clearly framed to solicit media attention, or perhaps are simply politically motivated. There is absolutely no merit to these allegations, period." Unquote. The published statement is libelous on its face and clearly exposes plaintiff to hatred, contempt, ridicule, and obloquy. As a direct and proximate result of defendant Trump's defamation of plaintiff, plaintiff has been subjected to public scorn, hatred, and ridicule, and has suffered other injury. And this is where it gets a little weird. Prayer for relief. Basically, that means this is a settlement. Wherefore, plaintiff prays for judgment against defendants and for the following relief. A, the judgment be entered against defendants for special damages, compensatory damages, and punitive damages in an amount which shall be shown to be reasonable and just by the evidence, and in excess of $75,000, exclusive of interests and costs. That all costs of this action be assessed against defendants, including all reasonable attorney's fees, costs, and expenses of this action. That an order of protection in favor of plaintiff and all associated with her be issued, so that as to protect them from harm and harassment from defendants and their agents and associates. Basically, what this means, to make this go away, Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump settled this for $75,000. They basically said, here, we'll give you $75,000. We'll pay your attorney's fees, your costs and expenses. Just go away. And that was what settlement was reached. He basically said that both Epstein and Trump would no longer bother this woman, that they would pay her $75,000, all her court fees and all her lawyer's fees, and that they would never contact her ever again. And that they would never speak of it ever again. So, yeah, in order to make it go away, Epstein and Trump basically paid this person to be quiet. This was a document that like I said, it wasn't exactly leaked. It was public information, but it was one of those things that got very, very quietly released and was just never covered, never talked about. But since the hack from Anonymous, everybody's been kind of looking up all these different documents that have been leaked and hacked and whatnot. And this particular document came to light. So, yeah. According to this court document, Donald Trump did some very bad things to a young child. According to this document. It didn't go to trial. Again, it got settled. So, I think the reason why I believe this is because this is not nearly the only one of these cases that has happened with him. There are, if I remember correctly, about 25 different women who have accused him of misconduct in that way. Not necessarily the worst version of that, but he has groped women, he has touched them inappropriately, he has kissed them without their consent. He basically just went way too far with several of these women. So, like I said, some of them were fairly, what I guess comparatively would be simple things, like he grabbed them or touched them without their permission, and then other times he just flat out did very, very terrible things. If y'all like, I can actually link this to you. It's on Imager. So that's the Imager link. You can click it and it should take you to the gallery. It's several documents. And it highlights basically the larger portions of the court complaint. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's more information there. And not only that, but there's even a Google Drive document location where you can go and download the entire thing. Yes, I was already very well aware of what was going on with Billy Clinton. That man is not right. He's done some very bad things. I know the most famous thing that he's known for is the Lewinsky scandal, and it's kind of crap that it's known as the Lewinsky scandal. But yeah, that's not even the tip of the iceberg with him. He is a philanderer, big time. I can't even imagine how many times he has cheated on his wife. Seriously, I mean, I think the hardest part for Hillary about losing the election was the fact that I think she only stayed with Bill because she thought that it would help her become president. And now when that didn't happen, she's like, Jesus, I stayed with this bastard for 4 decades and put up with his philandering and his cheating and his wandering eye and didn't become president. I honestly think that's the hardest part for her. And I wouldn't blame her. It's hard to stay with a cheating spouse. And he has done it so many freaking times. I mean, she was publicly embarrassed. John Podesta. I didn't see anything about John Podesta. But yeah, I'm very aware of what Clinton had been doing. Everybody knows what Clinton's been. It's kind of like an open. It was like when it was going on with Bill Clinton back in the 90s. At least this is the feeling that I got back in the 90s, because at that point I was already old enough to understand all these things. It was kind of like an open secret. It was an open secret in Washington that Clinton had already done all these kind of things. Like even before he was president, when I think he was governor of Arkansas, I think it was. Even then, he was messing around behind Hillary's back. So yeah, Clinton is kind of the quintessential, he's a great leader, and he really was. I thought he was a pretty good president. But he is a terrible man. He is an absolute terrible man. Benia states, there was video of him. Ooh, that's not good. And hello, VG fan. I have not seen that video. I could probably look it up. I don't know if I want to watch it. but I can look it up. Let me see. Oops, I misspelled Clinton. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here about that. Of course, that's just a single Google search. Let me adjust my... Let's see. I mean, there were photos of Bill Clinton with Jeffrey Epstein on his plane. We already knew about that, too. Yeah, I'm not seeing any videos here. Let me go to videos directly. Let me see. And you're saying that what did he strike this child or what? I mean, you say there's actual video, but they were deleting everything. Yeah, that all Twitter does that. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about Bill Clinton and children. That's not saying that it didn't happen. I'm just not seeing any data on it. But yeah, Clinton again was one of those guys that, again, great leader, great president, terrible man, terrible human being. Just based on the things that he did when he was president, he's probably gonna, if there is a hell, he's definitely going to hell. He's going to bad hell. Yeah, I'll look that up later, Benia. It was Strady Chen? What? Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh man, we kind of went off the rails here, huh? With this stream, I was logging on just because, like I said, I couldn't figure out if I wanted to do a Duel Link stream or if I wanted to do like a podcast sort of show where I talk about all the stuff that's going on right now with the protests and the riots. Speaking of riots, I don't know if this is true because I have never been in the military. But I talked to a friend of mine who was in the military. She was in the Army. And she was remarking about how the police are using the rubber bullets that they're firing at people. And she said that the police were using them wrong. So apparently when she was in the military, she was trained for that type of stuff too. And she said that the way that you're supposed to use rubber bullets is you don't shoot directly at the person. You're supposed to shoot at the street or at the ground, and then the bullet will bounce and it will tag them. So it'll give them a little pinch, basically, like a little smack, but it'll give them a bruise, but it won't really hurt them that badly. It's just mostly like a warning, like, hey, move on or stop what you're doing, that kind of thing. But there have been pictures. There was a picture of a woman who... She wasn't even part of the protests. She was just trying to get home. She had actually just gone to the grocery store. She was trying to get home, and a cop thought that she was part of the protest. He turned and shot her in the face with a rubber bullet. She lived, but holy God, is her face messed up. It hit her right in the forehead. And it hit her so hard that it broke the skin, and there was blood everywhere. I mean, the blood was just dripping down from her face. It was horrible. And not only that, it moved the skin on her forehead so aggressively when it struck her that it caused her left eye to begin to swell and fill with blood. And now it looks like somebody not only cut her deeply on the forehead, but it looks like somebody punched her in her left eye, like really, really hard. It's bad. And I saw there's actually a series of pictures. There's one where she had just gotten shot and she's like sitting there like, what in the hell just happened? And she's there and she's just dripping blood. And then it looked like a cop. I think it was a cop. Not somebody dressed in riot gear though. So it may have been somebody with the fire department. I'm not really sure, but they weren't in uniform either. But they went up to her and they started trying to help her. They started administering first aid. Yes, she did get first aid. The guy started administering first aid, and then eventually she made it to the hospital. And the picture that she took and shared with everybody from the hospital, again, there was this massive gash in her forehead. It was ugly. And then again, like I said, her eye was swelling up like crazy. I can see if I can find it. Let me see. Shot in the head with rubber bullet. I'm pretty sure she'll come up. There's been several people who have actually been shot in the face with a rubber bullet. In fact, while I'm searching for these pictures, there was a photojournalist. I believe she was in New York. And she was, again, just out there doing her job, taking pictures, documenting. And again, a riot officer directly shot her in her eye. Didn't even hit the forehead like this other woman. She got shot in the eye. And she had to go to the hospital, had to go undergo emergency surgery. And while the eye itself survived, she's now completely blind in that eye. So it's basically just there for looks now. So just like that, she is now blind. And this is a photojournalist. This is somebody who makes their living taking pictures. And as upsetting as I think that would have been for somebody, she kind of looked at it on the bright side. She's like, at least it's not my picture-taking eye. It was her left eye, not her right eye. So she said, yes, it sucks. I'm going to be blind in that eye now for the rest of my life, but at least I still have my right eye so I can continue to take photos. So, yeah, that was bad. Oh, here's another incident. And this just happened today. And this happened in Austin, which is not that far from me. Here, I'll actually read the report here for you. This is per CBS Austin. Let me bring it up here. And I saw the video of this too, and it is incredibly disturbing. Here we go. This is the, again, from CBS Austin. An Austin teen remains hospitalized after he was shot in the face by police at weekend protests. Video posted on social media shows 16-year-old Brad Levi Ayala shot in the head with what police are calling beanbag ammunition. In the video, he's standing still and alone on a hill in a blue shirt and khaki pants. In the bottom right-hand corner of the video, you can see a uniformed officer raise something to his face. There's a loud crack, and you see the young man instantly go limp before the officer's arms go back down. I saw the video, and seriously, the kid was just standing there. He wasn't even close to the police. He was a good 20 feet at least from the police. He was just standing there on the hill, wasn't bothering anybody, and he just drops like a sack of potatoes. Cops shot him straight in the head. Getting back to the article. Quote, they shot his face. This is not okay, said Edwin Sanchez, Ayala's brother. Another video from the ground shows people rushed to Ayala's aid, carrying him down a hill while asking him questions to keep him conscious. Sanchez spoke with CBS Austin outside of Dell Children's Medical Center Monday. He says after a 7-hour... Oh my God, I didn't know this. He says after a 7-hour surgery, they learned his brother won't have permanent brain damage, but his recovery won't be easy either. He needed a skin graft and will have a permanent scar on his head. He also continues to be at risk for... Holy crap, for infection. Jesus, man. Getting back to the article, quote, he's strong. He's a strong guy and he's going to be fine, but he's just in a lot of pain, says Sanchez. He explains Ayala went to the protest alone after wrapping up his shift at an Austin deli. He was still in his work uniform and wanted to witness everything for himself, but his family ended up seeing something else. Quote, I saw police officers not seeing the humanity in him, not seeing the kindness that he is, not seeing him for what I see. They saw a monster and they treated him like that, says Sanchez. A GoFundMe to cover medical expenses and possible legal action has raised more than $10,000 in less than 24 hours. According to family, Ayala has 3 injuries. They say he was shot in the skull and twice in the torso. Ow. Monday evening, Austin Police Chief Brian Manley said the police department was investigating what happened to Ayala, as well as another incident where a 20-year-old man who was also shot in the head remains in critical condition. Jesus Christ, guys. Come on. Quote, "It's not just my brother. It's countless teenagers who look just like him. They're treating them like animals, like monsters, and that's not okay," says Sanchez. Jeez. Manley says no officers have been removed from duty while their use of force at the protest is being investigated. He says the department is reviewing the tactics used against protesters over the weekend. APD says no live rounds were fired, but multiple officers fired 12-gauge shotguns loaded with beanbags at protesters. He's expected to address use of force concerns expressed by Austin City Council members at a meeting on Thursday. Man, that's I feel bad for the kid. I saw the video. He wasn't doing anything. He was just standing there. And this cop just, Jesus, man. What is... And on top of that, I didn't even know that there was a second person who got shot and apparently is in critical condition. What in the F is going on, man? What are they doing? I mean, they're having the protests because somebody got killed by a police officer. Police officer stuck his leg and knee into this man's neck until he literally choked to death. He couldn't breathe. Killed him. It's on video and everything. And so there are protests to protest that type of behavior. And what do? The police go out there and they do it more. I mean, it's like they're not reading the room very well at all. I mean, I understand that they need to protect themselves. I get that. But you're shooting rubber bullets the wrong way at people who have nothing to do with the protest. And then you're shooting beanbags at the head of a kid. Because when you use I've seen those beanbag shotgun blasts. I've seen that the beanbags are pretty small, and those suckers hurt. I've never taken one myself, thankfully. But I've seen people who have been shot by them, and boy, does it leave a bruise. You're never supposed to shoot those at the head of somebody, because it can kill them. You're supposed to shoot them in, like, their torso or in their thighs. Someplace that's a little meaty, that can take an impact. It'll hurt like hell. It'll get the message across, but you're not going to kill them that way in most cases. You shoot somebody in the head with that beanbag, that kid's lucky he's not dead. He really is. He is so lucky he's not dead. And that cop that shot him, it is, and that's part of the reason why these protests are happening. It's because police are using excessive force to an extreme degree. That's why people are out there protesting. A Yu-Gi-Oh stream that's not Legacy of the Duelist. We're not even doing Duel Links, man. We're talking about what's going on in America right now. Yeah, the number of people who have been shot in the face by these quote-unquote non-lethal rounds, be them beanbags or pepper balls or rubber bullets, it's ugly. And there are so many of them. There are so many, and there are several videos. Like that one video, the first one that I saw was that guy with CNN. He had his press pass, his everybody knew that he was with CNN. Him and his cameraman and his crew all got arrested. They were there reporting on the protests. Cops come up to him, cuff him, and arrest him and his crew. It's like, what the F are they thinking? The excuse they initially gave, the police that is, the excuse they initially gave was that they had ordered everybody to leave the area, and since that person with CNN and his crew didn't leave the area, that's why they got arrested. That was the reason. But the interesting thing is that an hour later, they were released with no charges. I think because they realized how horrible that's going to look. And so they released them and said, okay, let's just let this go and hopefully it'll go away. And then there was another one where there was a woman who, again, was out there covering the protest. She wasn't even in the street. She was on the sidewalk, and she's filming well, she was there reporting. She had a cameraman with her, and he was filming the police, and she was reporting there, and she was live. They had actually said, okay, let's go live to so-and-so, and how are things looking down there? And she starts talking to them, and a cop just looks straight at her and starts firing. And you could hear her on the TV live, and she's like, "Ow! Oh my God, I'm being shot!" And the people back in the studio are like, "Holy crap! What the hell?" They're like, "Are you okay? Are you all right?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm okay. They're the pepper bullets, they're the rubber bullets." And then again, so the cameraman, he sees this officer shooting directly at his reporter, that he's there with, and so of course he zooms in or tries to zoom in on the officer. Officer turns the gun on him, starts shooting him. Again, this is all live TV. And I'm like, are you serious, man? And so, of course, they go and they retreat a bit. And they're like, the people in the store are like, why? Why were they shooting you? And, of course, the woman on the scene's like, I have no idea. They know we're the press. We have our credentials. They know who we are. And they're just shooting at us. It's like, man, these, I imagine the good cops are at work because they have to be, and I imagine that they are probably just putting their hand over their face right now, like, dude, what are you doing? Because you know how it is for every 10 cops, there's like one bad cop, and that was probably one of the bad cops, and the other good cops. Because they don't want to get fired, they don't say anything right then and there, but you could tell in their mind, they're like, what is he doing? Why are you shooting at the press, of all people? Does the game play itself? Yes, it does. Watch. VG Fan states, I'm not sure if this is a thing, but when cadets were asked, did you enter the profession of law enforcement to crack some skulls? The majority of the cadets' hands went up. Yeah, we don't need people like that being police officers. We really don't. And the thing is, we always knew that there were videos like this of cops. But the sheer amount of reports coming now, it's like every half hour there's a new instance of a cop overstepping, their authority, shooting people. In fact, there was a live stream on Facebook. I just happened to be watching it. I believe it was a guy. Oh, he was in Akron, Ohio. And yes, I will be doing some Casey Cup. There was a guy in Akron, Ohio, and I turned on his Facebook Live because he was reporting live. He was on his phone, but he was reporting live in Akron. Very similar situation. He saw the police coming because they do those lines, and they're like, okay, you got to clear the street. And so he's like, all right. So he goes and he starts walking up this other street to get out of their way. And he turns back and he turns his camera on the officer, and there's an officer there who starts walking toward him, and he has the gun with the rubber bullets. And he actually says to the cop, "You're not going to shoot me, are you?" And he was saying it kind of jokingly. And of course, guess what the cop did? The cop shot him. He shot him with a rubber bullet. And on top of that, the kicker on top of that was the guy, of course, got upset. He's like, "Hey, what the hell are you doing, man? I'm leaving the area like you asked." After he gets shot with the rubber bullet, that same cop pulls out a tear gas grenade and throws it right at him. I can only laugh about it because it's like, really? I mean, because again, I get there, and the thing is, on this Facebook Live, it wasn't just a handful of us watching. There were 2,500 people watching, and this guy's live, and it's. I guess maybe the cop thought he was mocking him. I don't know, but again, he was doing exactly what the cops told him to do, to clear the air. Okay, he starts walking up the street to leave. Cop shoots him with a rubber bullet. He got struck in the leg. He showed the wound later too. It was a pretty big gash on his leg. And then, of course, he got that that tear gas grenade thrown at him. And he was like, what the hell, man? So he went away for a bit. The cops made their way through that area. He went back. The tear gas grenade was still there because, it expels the gas and then eventually it runs out and it just sits there. So he's like, screw this, I'm taking it. So he picked it up and he's like, I'm keeping this. This is my souvenir from getting shot in the leg and possibly tear gassed. And he kept it. And it was still hot and everything. He's like, oh man, this thing's still really hot, because they get hot when they do their chemical reaction. But it was insane, man. It was just insane. I don't think I want to do this with this character. We're going to do it with the other Yugi. Let's see you get past this. But find the way that the audio don't be at the stream? What? Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, okay. So you sent it in Discord? Oh, I can mute Discord. Oh, I see it there. Okay, I'll watch that later then, just to be safe. But I guess I've been talking long enough. I've been on for over an hour. And yeah, I see you there too, sir. I've been on for over an hour. I should at least play a couple of duels. I mean, I wasn't really going to do anything with the KC Cup. In fact, the only reason why I was doing any kind of, PvP was mostly because of the, where is she? Because of this chick. Because I was just wanting to complete these. And the crappy thing is that, like right now, it says play 3 ranked duels. Or actually it says play 3 ranked duels. That's weird. But playing in the KC Cup or the KC tournament doesn't count. I found that out the hard way because I played 2 duels in the KC thing. And I thought, okay, because in the last version of this, you only had to play 2 ranked duels. So I played 2 in the tournament, came back, and it didn't count. So I was like, oh man, so I had to go and I had to do regular ranked duels. Preliminary tournament. Yeah, I've already gotten a few victories here. But I really want to get these ranked out of the way. Look at me, I'm rookie rank 3. So we're going to go in here with Gravekeepers. And I just want to get these out. I mean, there's 3 of them. Ugh. I'll give you all at least one. Well, actually, this is not the KC Cup. It is the KC Preliminary Tournament. It's different. It really is different. Anytime I do viewer duels, I don't like using meta decks, though. I've never liked using meta decks with viewer duels. I only ever do, like, fun decks. Oh, look at this. We're going to take a chance and just do that. If I can draw my big dude here, then this duel could be very interesting. I was tempted to play my Necro Valley just so he wouldn't be able to dig in the graveyard if that's what he wants to do. But I figured this is rookie rank 3, so I might still hit a meta deck, but the chances are lower. You love the amount of gems you get from the KC tournament. Yeah, I noticed that it gives a lot of gems. I already got pretty much everybody's already got the play mat and the deck sleeves. Doink. What are they playing here? Oh, 6 samurais. Just end your turn, man. There's nothing you can do. Oh, maybe he's reading my resonator. All right, come on. Give me the big guy. Dang, that's not the big guy. Well, I could still take a chance here. Let me throw my Necro Valley down there. He may try and destroy it. Okay, good. He didn't destroy it. We'll put that down. Now the question is, do I want to bring my Supernaturalist? I probably should. Because I was thinking of doing a Synchro. But I'll bring the Supernaturalist because he's a little better at staying on the field. And it's okay to dump these 2 because I can bring one right back. And then I'll get a search here. I'm going to leave my Resonator in defense just in case. Bam! End the turn, do the search. Let's grab a Recruiter. I don't want to grab the big guy. Just in case he manages to get rid of both of these. I don't want to be stuck with the big guy in my hand. I'd much rather have this. Because at least this I can throw down a defense and still get a search out of it. Because he's got a handful of cards. So he can do some stuff. He's probably going to try to get rid of my Necro Valley. Ooh, Copy Knight. What do you got there? Level 4 or lower warrior type monster is normal summon to your side of the field. Special summon this card as a normal monster with... Oh, okay. That's fine. We'll let that go. Maybe he's going to try to summon something big here. I turned off the music too. I'm sorry. I just this hearing the same. Oh, enemy controller. Is he gonna try to take my big guy? He might. I guess so. I'm still in good shape though, unless he can bring another monster. He's just gonna get rid of my Resonator. And he's going to give me back my Supernaturalist. Unless he did... Well, no, that's right. He could tribute it away. Okay. Oh, he's going to battle phase. Yeah, he screwed up. I'll let him hit the Resonator twice. He's like, crap. Go ahead, get rid of my Resonator. That Resonator's a handy little card. He's good for tech and he's good for being a tuner. Ooh, the Galaxy. Very nice draw. I'm going to hit that backfield. What was that? Breakthrough. Now we can finish this. Love the Dark Magician deck. I've not played the Dark Magician deck. I've got a few of the cards, but I don't have all of them. I would need to get a ton more cards to be able to play it. Like I think I've got a single copy of Navigation. I've got a single copy of the Circle or whatever that spell card is. So yeah, I would have to farm a lot. All right, we got our first win. Very nice. Is your general cat the AFK channel? It's not. I actually don't even have a voice channel in there, I don't think. Nobody would ever use it, or nobody has ever used it or asked for it. I can put it in if you want. It's no big deal. Let me go to there right now. Do I have a... Actually, no. There it is. Yeah, voice channel. Oh, okay. I didn't even realize I put that in there. So yeah, I guess it's in there. I could actually move the voice channels up to make them a little more visible. Yeah, I've only got the one voice channel. I never go in there though. I've never seen anybody go in there. Of course, people are welcome to. Muted for... You're muted? You shouldn't be muted. Nobody should be muted in there. Did you mute yourself? Server... Oh, wow. Hold on. Let me try something here. Okay, there. There we go. I think I meant to silence the channel once and I accidentally muted it, so maybe that was it. Oh, goodness. This is a good hand. This is a very good hand. Because it gives me options here. If I can draw the Oracle or my Spiritualist, then I can use the Throne to get the other. So yeah, this is a pretty good hand here. Oh gosh, what is this? Skull Redbird. Okay, this guy's actually a new player. I feel kind of bad now. Because this person actually is a rookie. Playing Skull Redbird. I'm going to feel a little bad doing all this to him. We're going to remove that backfield. Oh, he may activate it. Is that DL13? I was rookie ranked, so I started at DL1. Oh, he should have used that. I wonder why he didn't use it. I'm gonna use the throne here. I haven't even tried to run on the ladder in, gosh, a year now. Oh man, who do I want to bring? Yeah, screw it. We'll bring her. Did I download Saint Seiya? I did not. Everybody's asking me to download all these different games now. I'm just like, dude, I can only do so many. And even my friend that I talk to like every other day, they were like, yeah, you need to download this other game. It's called Pathfinder? Pathfinder. And then I found out there are two different versions of Pathfinder. One's an actual tabletop game, and the other is the video game version, I guess. Feel bad for the rookie. Yeah, I feel a little bad too. Because unfortunately, I mean, if that's the best cards he's got, I mean, he's trying, at least. It's kind of a trial by fire, though. Let's add... I'll add another spiritualist. Welcome to Duel Link. Yeah, Duel Link's ladder is pretty vicious. I mean, seriously, even in rookie rank, and I've run into this too, even in rookie rank, you will find yourself facing meta decks. Because I found out a long time ago what people like to do is because when you start a new account, you know, they pretty much shower you with gems. So what they'll do is they'll start a new account, they'll just, you know, go through it really quickly. They'll get, you know, a few thousand gems, and then they'll use those gems to basically farm out like one of the new boxes and, you know, get together all the new meta cards so they can build a deck, and then they play like that. Which, I mean, yeah, I guess you can do that, but it's kind of unfortunate because it's kind of like, I guess, kind of working the system. You know, and that's happened to me several times where I'll see somebody where it looks like a new account because they don't even have a rank yet. Like, you know how like it looked and it shows like the bunny and the lion and stuff. They don't even have that yet. And so I'll face somebody who's like the little chicken egg, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this is just a rookie. Nope, they're breaking out, you know, the Dark Magician deck or something crazy. And I'm like, okay, apparently they're not a rookie. That happens way too much. I'm sorry, sir. But yeah, it was well, at least I'm technically not using a meta deck against him. I guess I'm using more of the anti-meta deck. Is that what we're calling this now? Because of the Necro Valleys? And people can't say that I'm just teching in Necro Valley, because obviously this is a Gravekeeper deck. It needs to be there. That's what it's for. Yay! We're bronze rank. I get a ticket with an N on it. I mean, Necro Valley's not unbeatable. It's just that with a lot of decks that tend to like to dig in the graveyard, then it can hurt them. The thing with Dark Magician is oftentimes you don't necessarily pull from the graveyard. You pull from the hand or you pull from your deck. And that's why it's you can use that deck to get past them. But yeah, like certain deck types that like to dig in the graveyard, they really hate Necro Valley. Let's see, how many? That's 2, right? I think that's only 2. Hold on. What do I got here? 5 PvP duels. And I did get some more Mayakashi cards. Oh, look, 50 gems. Oh, that's right, from the rank up. I was like, where did I get those? Yeah, I think I need one more. I do. Use skills in a dual world. Okay, I guess I have to use it in the regular dual world duel. Okay. Well, let's do one more ranked, and then we'll do some KC. Because I just want to get that thing done. Balance. Well, I use the Tie That Binds, but you have to do it in a regular dual world duel. It can't be in ranked. So that's the only reason. Because usually if it's just like, oh gosh, another person. I hope this isn't the same person. I don't think it is. But yeah, whenever it's a standard duelist, I usually just auto duel it. And so in the auto duels, it doesn't, yeah. Do you have alerts? Alerts for what? Oh, am I facing heroes? I think this is heroes. You hosted me, thank you. I don't have alerts. Well, do I have alerts for Twitch? I had them set up on Streamlabs, but Streamlabs has been a little weird. Sometimes it'll tell me and sometimes it won't. Oh yeah, so we're definitely facing heroes. Oh man, and I have no way to search Necker Valley. So I gotta just hope I draw it here. Necker Valley! No, no Necker Valley. It worked pretty well when you went snowboarding. Let's see, how do we want to do this? The recruiter's fine. I have no problem setting the recruiter. I'll actually set both prisons, and I'm going to hold my throne. But yeah, I had turned the alerts on. Because for a while I had them turned off, and then I turned them back on like a month ago. And sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Like whenever I get subs, because whenever I get a sub on YouTube, it's supposed to tell me, hey, you got a sub and it'll flash on the screen and all that. Here, actually, we'll Dimension Prison this guy. And sometimes it flashes, sometimes it doesn't. Here, we'll let him doink that. Because he's only got Neo space out there. Get it in the turn. Darn. I guess we'll go aggressive here. Poisoner. We'll end the turn. May I send a highlight your way? Sure, go for it, man. A highlight of snowboarding? I'm not really into snowboarding. We don't get a lot of snow down where I am, so... he bricked. Or he didn't brick, he just scooped. He probably knew he didn't have a chance. Yeah, we don't get very much snow down here. In the last 20 years, we've gotten snow twice. And both times we're like, what? I actually really like the snow. I prefer cold weather. Like some of the best times I've had, like, leaving the state of Texas were because it was cold. Like, I went to Seattle several years ago, and it was in March. It was like early March. It was still kind of cold, kind of chilly out there. And I went out there, and I was like, man, this weather's amazing. The friend that I was with, they're like, really? And I go, dude, it's like blazing hot in Texas right now, so this is amazing for me. It was like 40 degrees, and it was raining a little bit. And they're like, you like this weather? Again, you get nothing but blazing sun, 350 days out of the year. It's it's kind of amazing when you get to go and hang out in 40-degree weather. It was nice. Finally, we get through this. Doom, 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 doom. Let's see, what are the things? Skills. Oh, and play 11 duels. Or play 15 duels. Oh, wow. We're almost done with that. Good. So what were you doing snowboarding? Where were you snowboarding? You went here in January. Where is... Oh, Vail, Colorado. Colorado's actually not that far from here. I mean, well, for some people it's far, but for me it's not because I've lived in Texas. So, like when I've driven from here to Dallas, and I'm just like, yeah, that's normal. But then other people are like, dude, that's like crossing 3 states. I'm like, not in Texas. First time going here. Oh, broadcaster indicated this is for mature audiences. Why is this mature? Oh, are you on the lift? Okay, it started and I saw you floating in the air. I was like, what is happening? And I was like, oh, he's on the lift. I thought you were... It's Superman. I'm flying over the snow, man. This is awesome. I've actually never been on one of those. Never. I've never been skiing. Never in my life been skiing. Have built a snowman, sort of. I'm trying to think now of the cold weather activities. I've not really done much. I remember being a kid and it got really, really cold here one year. This was a long time ago. And it got so cold and rainy and dreary that we had, no joke, like 1.5 foot icicles hanging from the side of our house. But that was a long time ago. And I remember it was pretty funny. We would go out there and we would put chairs, like me and my siblings. We'd go out there and we'd get a chair and we'd put it up against the side of the house so we could reach like the roof where the little overhang is, and all the icicles were dangling down. And we'd break the icicles off, and we'd get these like really long icicles, and we're like, wow, this is amazing. And we're like, we're going to save them. And we'd go and we'd stick them in the freezer in the house. We'd stick them in the freezer. And then we'd come back the next day and they'd be like half gone. And we're like, what's happening? Why are they melting? But okay, so are you going? Oh, you're going up. Okay, I was like, which way are you going? Okay, so you're going up. Well, hold on. I don't hear anything. Mute, unmute. Okay. Yeah, I don't hear anything. Is this silent? Maybe it's silent. But yeah, I still see you going up the thing. Is this all it is? Just going? Oh, this is where. Oh, okay. Here you go. Now this is where you get a snowboard. Okay. It will fix itself. No, it won't. It's not going to fix itself, sir. 5 more gems. I kind of want to get the 6 more gems just so I can open a pack. Open 2 packs at the same time. All right, so I guess we're going to do some KC now. I did my 3 ranks. Yeah, let's do some... Yeah, I've done a win and a loss. This guy's deck was interesting. He played Mausoleum of the Emperor, and then he brought out one of those weird Earthbound cards that just attacks directly, and I was like, oh, crap. There's nothing I could do. Let me see ranking. What does ranking mean? Okay, there's no rankings yet. Details, rewards. Let's see. Yeah, one of the Earthbound Immortals. I had a whole bunch of gems too, but then I saw the new box, and at first I wasn't going to buy anything from the new box, but then I was like, oh, screw it. Because I've been playing Gravekeepers, no joke, in this game for like 6 months now. At least 6 months. So I was like, maybe I should start collecting for another archetype. But here we go. We'll play some KC stuff. And the thing is, KC, you don't know what you're going to face. It's not like ranked duels, where the chances of you facing a non-meta deck in like the rookie rank is pretty small, or you know, whatever. You could face a meta deck at any point here, and I just assume most people here are going to have meta decks. So hopefully my Gravekeeper anti-meta deck will help me out here. The only deck I can see myself having real trouble with is probably going to be Magicians. Had a snowmobile literally go by me while I'm riding casually down a slope. Did they almost hit you or what? Oh, this guy's playing heroes. Oh, let's see. I want to search. That's why I put that. I could have put the spy down, but I want to get a search off. I still miss not having Commandant here. Ooh, Stratus. I hate you. Dang it. Oh, hit my Rite of Spirit. That's fine. So this is going to be a harder deck because he has a Stratus. I'm actually going to leave this guy on the field. I'm going to get rid of the Stratus. Just because I hate it. We're going to search. Let's grab... Oh, man. I guess I'll grab a Spiritualist. And hope that I draw into Necro Valley. But he's got backfield, too. Oh. What's happening? What are you waiting for? There we go. Oh, mask change. Oh, okay. Playing the mask change early. What's that? Masked Hero Blast. Oh, are you serious? Another spy. I'm in a bit of a pickle here. I imagine he might have another mask change down here. You know, I'm actually tempted to go and play my old mask change deck with Anki. I'm just hoping he doesn't have another mask change. If he does, it's over. Oh, no mask change. Thank you. Oh my god, dude, really? Come on. I guess I'll bust him in his backfields at this point. It's all I can really do. What do you got? Oh, wall. Okay, that's a good pop. I'm gonna put the spy out there again. I'm not drawing my Necker Valleys. Sucks. Because I've got something here, I just need Necker Valley. Doink. Oh, let's bring another spy. Just to annoy him. One summoner, no. Because I knew I was going to get a search with a spy anyway. And I had another spy in the deck, so I was going to be able to last here. Oh, here comes the mass change. So he's going to send that away, bring that. Probably bring Anki here. I'd bring oh, he didn't. I would have brought Anki. I would have brought Anki. Ugh, are you kidding me? No Necker Valleys. Oh, this is so dirty. I have 3 Necker Valleys, didn't draw a single one. I'm not gonna scoop though. I'll give him his win. All because I couldn't draw a frickin' Necker Valley. Where are my Necker Valleys? Yeah, here I'll make it easier for you. I'll just I'll cost myself 1,000 damage because there's nothing else I can really do. Oh, a draining shield. Yeah, I'm toast. I can search, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, we're done. No Necker Valleys can't do anything, man. See, that's weird, dude. I mean, I had 8 cards left, and 3 of them were Necker Valley. I could not draw a Necker Valley to save my life. That's why I wish we had Commandant. If Duel Links had Commandant, that'd be amazing. I love that card. Well, I run 3 Commandants in Link Evolution. But yeah, I guess that was a standard Neos deck. Or not Neos, but mask change. I've posted the Undersports. That's fine, don't worry about it. You can, if you want to, you can post Undersports. 25 more gems. And then we get 30 more, or 40 more gems. Here, let's go buy some boosters. Because I actually am trying to get Mayakashi stuff. I did, in fact, yesterday, I bought 8 boosters, and 4 of them were ultra rare or super rare. So that was a really good... That's a really good 8 packs. So I'm thinking I'm not going to get anything good for a while. Just in those 8 packs, I got this... I got this. I think, yeah, I got this, I think. And I also got this. So yeah, I got those pretty good 4 packs. I'm tempted to reset. Simply because I've actually gotten quite a few of the good cards now. But I do need Mayakashi Return and Mayakashi Winter. But 20 packs in, though. And I've gotten so many good cards already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's pretty good. I don't know, man. I so tempted to reset because I figure I'll only need like 1 or 2 copies of these at most, and I would want multiple copies of this one, and this one, and this one, and maybe this one. So I don't know, man. Should I reset? I'm tempted to. Yeah, I still haven't even gotten this one, which is crap. Kind of amazing that I haven't gotten that. Yeah, we'll get through. Well, we'll get 3 more packs. I'm gonna get only rares here. I know it, but maybe I'll get a couple of the little blue girl. Doom Kaiser Dragon. Mayakashi. 2 Mayakashis. I think I have 3 of those already now. That should be 3. So I got plenty of those. Come on, give me the little blue girl at least. Dang it. hoping for that one. But nope. Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to get anything great from these. Well, I guess back to the tournament. Let me see. How far along am I? Did I get credit for another duel here? Yeah, I did. Good. All right. Come on. Click. Plus, it's nice that you get all the gems, too. Just from playing. Even if you lose. I'm kind of tired, but I'm not. It's like I'm yawning, but I don't really feel sleepy. You ever feel, hey, what happened? It didn't connect right, so it just killed the duel. Going through the terrain park. Super pipe. What's a super pipe? Is that like, one you get extra smoke out of? What? Why are you laughing at me? Oh my gosh. This hand. I still couldn't start with a Neckar Valley. Oh, come on. Card of Consonance. What's this? Discard with target type monster. Draw 2 cards. Oh, that's actually not bad. Ooh, already breaking the poly out. Oh my god. Is he really bringing it? He's going to bring Ultimate Dragon. Oh, Neo's Blue Eyes. Oh, that's awesome. He cut it out first turn. That's neato. That's really neat. The rough thing is I don't think I have anything to kill that. Oh, he's going to beat me already? Are you serious? Ugh. That's so crap. That is so crap. Already lost already because he got that out first turn. He got like the perfect hand. He got all 3 of his Blue Eyes and the polymerization with a monster that could attack me. The walls are 20 feet high. I don't know what that means. Remember, I don't know what any of that means. Well, at least the match was fast. Do I need to link a picture? I don't know what any of that means. Yep, somebody from Mexico. Kipo? What's Kipo? Yeah, it pretty much was anime. He had the perfect hand. And the thing is, of course, I would choose to put the recruiter because I wanted to get a search with the recruiter and not just a summon. Oh, I got a Neckar Valley. Finally. Start with a Neckar Valley, thank you. My luck, he's going to bust out and just destroy my Gravekeeper. And the thing is, he's running Arcana, so you know it's Magicians. It's going to be Magicians. So this might hurt. The one deck that I knew I would have problems with, I'm now facing. It looks like this. Like stars? Ooh, end your turn, end your turn, end your turn, end your turn. Just end it. Ugh. Oh, he's playing Neckar Valley. Okay, that's fine with me, buddy. You're doing me a favor. I'm perfectly fine with Neckar Valley on the field, dude. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Here, we're going to do this. We're going to hopefully pop your 1 wall. Let me see what he does here. Oh my gosh, he's playing Gravekeepers as well. That's hilarious. Oink. Oh my god, this is beautiful. This is so funny. He's like, are you serious? It's a mirror match. This is hilarious. I hope he has something to protect himself back there or else this is over. Nope, I think this is over. That's funny. The mirror match. He was like, really? Somebody else is playing Gravekeepers too? And I saw him put the Necker Valley. I was like, are you serious? Because I know people are running Necker Valley just as a tech card. Like, they'll run one Necker Valley. So when I saw him put it out there, I was like, oh, thanks. Oh, that's funny. You had all Necker Valleys in your opening hand. All I want is one Necker Valley in my opening hand. If I can get one Necker Valley in my opening hand, usually I can find a way to do something with it. Unless I get two Chiefs, an Oracle, and a Necker Valley, then I'm screwed. Oh, finally get a win. Thank you. It was getting ugly there. I'd lost like 3 straight. Oh, this guy's been around. From Japan, huh? Jade. Oh, Neos. Am I going first? That's fine. Actually, I don't really mind going first with Gravekeepers. Oh, look at that. That's actually a great hand. I can work with this. And the good thing, I think, is that since so many people are running Necker Valley as a tech, they don't realize I'm playing Gravekeepers. Oh, lots of backfield. What do you got here? What are you playing? Subterrors. You can send on Subterror. Okay. Actually, I'm going to save that. I'm going to doink him. Let's bring... We'll bring her. I'm going to save this just in case I run into... Because with 3 backfield, he's going to have something that's going to screw me over. Oh, nice. Okay, that helps. World Legacy Pawns. Oop. I thought for a second he was going to negate. I'm gonna actually send my spy. And I'm gonna set the recruiter. Oops. Come on. What you got, man? Got Dimensional? Dimensional would hurt me. Ooh, Subterra Final Battle. Ooh, he pumped it up. Okay. Still doinked it. That's good. But he saved himself some life points. Now I'll get my search. Do I want to... Let's grab it. Let's take the chance and grab the Oracle. So now I know what this is. That's going to pump up his monsters. So he's probably hoping to get a big monster out there now. Because the big monster is going to hurt a little bit. Oh, he sets. Okay. That's actually exactly what I wanted him to do. So let's activate that. Going to bring the Oracle. Going to get both effects. Nope, I'm going to destroy his set. Doinked. Search. I already activated that, right? Okay, good. Oh, he's thinking. Come on. Go! What do you got? Nothing? That's it. So, Subterrors. Didn't think I'd find Subterrors in here. All things considered, I'm actually doing okay. I'm doing better than I thought I would. I'm like 3-3 now in this event. A Jewel? How useless. I want to get at least one more just to get that extra 100 gems. What is my record in this? I think I am 3-3. Let me see. So win-win, loss, no contest, loss. Yeah, I am 3-3. That's fine. Is a 1-footer trick successful landing? What does that mean? You landed on 1 foot? Ooh, could be Neos. Maybe? Okay, he's going first. Ooh, look at this hand. This is a bit of a dirty hand. I hope gosh. I need to draw a recruiter. Yeah, I definitely want to get a recruiter here. A spy I can work with, but I prefer a recruiter. He's playing 30 cards. Hey, I can't fault him that badly. I mean, he's already been into DL4, so he's gotten a few wins. Yeah, Space Connector. But yeah, ooh, wow, look at that. He's already bringing it. Yeah, I need to, yeah, I really need to draw a recruiter. Oh, and the poly already. Look at this. You're all saying 30 cards, but look at this. He's already bringing something. What are you gonna bring, man? The God Hand. Well, I mean, I can probably manage whatever he brings because I've got 2 dimensionals, but I'm a little worried because I really need a monster. Like I said, if I can get a spy or a recruiter, then I'm in good shape. Because I'll just set either one of them, and then with the Necro Valley, the spy will be a little overpowered. What do you got? Adoration. I don't even know what this does. Once per turn, target 1 face up monster your opponent controls and 1 face up hero monster control except this card. Oh wow, okay. What do we got? Oh my gosh, are you serious? Okay, well we're gonna Necro Valley anyway. I'm gonna eat that, but I'm gonna Dimensional Prison the other 2. And just to fool with him, I'm gonna put both, or all 3 of these down, I should say. There we go. That's all I got. Yeah, I think he was thinking, do I want to send these 2 or do I want to send the hand? So he played his entire hand. So I kind of see what he's doing here, but this could be something he could throw in the back. Oh! Oh, it's Necroshade. Okay, so I'm going to eat Necroshade apparently. And I'm going to get rid of that and that. Yeah, we'll take that. Switching computers. He's like, what are the chances that he has 2 dimensionals? Oh, he ended! that one thing spooked him. Okay, there's my recruiter. Okay, good. So we're going to set that. I've got a 2000 defender now. So I can kind of wait this out a bit. And I've got my Rite of Spirit. So even if he does find a way to dump this, I can bring it right back. So he should attack with this first. Oh, no, he's going with that. Okay, well, dimensional it is. He's like, crap, what is happening here? He is going to attack it. So I'm about to get field advantage and hand advantage now, which is nice. Spiritualist. Thank you. This got real pretty. He started with a great hand, but those 2 dimensionals really helped me out. They spooked him badly. Let's add another Spiritualist. I can't win right here. Well, actually, maybe I can win. Yeah, I can win. Yeah, because we're going to do this. We're going to Rite a Spirit, and we're going to bring the Spiritualist back. Oops, hold on. Whew. That's what he was thinking about. I think when he was doing poly, that's what he was thinking. He's like, should I hold these two cards in my hand, or should I just dominate the field immediately? And he took that chance, and it didn't work out. Yay! So we actually have a winning record. We're 4-3. Like whenever I would do most of the time back in my old school TCG Yu-Gi-Oh days, I mostly judged, but every now and then when I would enter a regional, I'd be like, dude, if I go 5-3, I'm happy. That was my goal, is to go 5, and I can't tell you how many times I went 5-3 in regionals. Occasionally I had a bad day and I'd go like 4-4, but most of the time I was 5-3. All right, we got some more gems. Gotta go pick them up. What do we got here? Come on. Duel 4 times in the KC Grand Prix tournament preliminary tournament. Surrenders are not counted. Oh, counted. Okay. So is this a pack of cards, I guess? Special pack 2? Does it open right now? Oh, it does. I'm not going to get anything good. I never do. Black Feather Beacon. Harpy's Feather Rest. Target 3 Harpy Lady or Harpy Lady sisters in your graveyard. Shuffle them into your deck, then draw 1 card. If you control a level 5 or higher Harpy monster, when you activate this effect, draw 2 cards instead. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you can special summon monsters except wind monsters. Oh, you cannot special summon monsters except wind monsters. Only activate 1 Harpy's Feather Rest per turn. Yeah. Not great. Already had multiples of both, apparently. What do we got here? Oh, we're almost done. Nice. Skill chips. More dual orbs, like I need any more of those. And a whole bunch of gems. Oh my gosh. That is a lot of gems. Let's see. 100, 105, 110, 210, 310, 315. Wow, okay. Nice. So we get 6 packs. At this point, I think I am going to reset because I'm just going to keep getting crap pulls. I might as well just reset it and take my chances. Alright, so again, we're going for the Mayakashi stuff. Don't have any of these, do have one of these, so I'd like to get at least one more of those. One more of those would be really nice. But my luck, I won't get anything here. 6 boosters. Yugioh Miracle, Field Commander Roz, Wiseman. Yeah. Ignis, Branch, Sky Striker, Mecha Eagle Booster. Oh, I think this is the one you can use in any deck. If you control the monsters in your main monster zone, target 1 face-up monster on the field. That target is unaffected by card effects this turn. Hold on. That's kind of an odd card. This card is made more for the TCG than for Duel Links. Because we don't have the extra monster zones in Duel Links the way the TCG does. Pain Painter. Flames of the Heart. Roz, Mokutan. Hey, we got the little girl. Good. Need a couple more of those. Copy Knight. Griffio. Another Wiseman. Ugh. I'm getting the reprints. Yeah, I didn't get anything out of these packs. Degen Force, Copy Knight again. Oh, are you kidding me? I got 3 Wiseman. 3 Wiseman rares out of 6 packs. Look at this. This is ridiculous. This is stupid. I bought 6 packs. I got 3 of these. That's crap. I mean, the duplication is insane. 2 Copy Knights, 2 Raws. Come on. That's stupid. Can I pick the rules? Well, you actually can kind of pick the rules on Duel Links. Like if you have a duel room, you can change the way decks are made. Like if I'm not mistaken, and in fact, here let me go over here and just look. It's been a long time since I've made my own duel room. So let me see, create room, and here it gives you like rules and stuff. Yeah, rules. You can go from casual, point battle, room capacity, entry conditions, normal regulation, no limit 1, no limit 2, unlimited. So you can change that. And recruit members, spectators, all that stuff. Yeah, you can do all kinds of good stuff now. Dual timer. It's better than nothing. They could just say, no, you don't get to do any of those things. Because we are the anti-fun league. I'm only going to play this duel just so I can activate my effect. My ability. You still can't do any of those things? Really? Do those options not work? They're just there? Oh my gosh, I got a bad hand. Oh, but he got a bad hand too. Let's get rid of that, whatever that is. Oh, 5 monster zones, 5 spells and traps. Teuton Mask. I'm actually going to take a chance here and just set my spy instead of attacking with it. Oh, wow, he still had nothing. Let's draw another spy. Really? Alright, let's grab her. Oh, Dimension Duels, Tag Duels. If only I had Necro Valley. But I still win. There we go. And we got the effect activation, so we're all good. Eventually they will give that. The thing is, though, to add that type of functionality, it would probably add a lot of data to the game. Because you would have to control a lot of that stuff on your own end, not on the back end like they do it right now. So they also have to keep in mind that this is a mobile game. And already it's at, what, 3 gigabytes? If you download the HD images, which a lot of people like to do. So you have to keep that in mind because, yeah, phones and tablets nowadays can hold a lot more data than they used to. But again, when it's a mobile game, you try to keep it as lightweight as you can because although the storage on these devices is usually fairly generous, the processors they don't always work too well with it. So you got to be careful with that, especially when they're having to trudge through, just 500 megabytes of data in a few seconds. That's really hard to do that, or to store all that in memory. Hooray! We've completed it. Make it PC only for the nah. I kind of get what you're saying, but that people on phones and on tablets would complain. It's gonna happen. Anytime you do that, you fracture your player base. Because there are certain people that only have phones or tablets. Some people don't even own, like, there are a ton of people that I know that don't even own a PC. They all own tablets and small devices like that. Like my sister, she doesn't own a PC. She just has her tablet and her phone. My friend Dre, who comes and watches this every now and then, he doesn't own a computer, he just has his phone. A lot of people like that. I mean, I'm old school, which is why I love my PC. I'm never going to be without a PC. But that's why I can afford to do stuff like this, because my PC is amazing. I guess we'll go with one more pack. Come on, give me something. I only got enough for 1 pack. Play on your iPod Nano. I never had an iPod Nano. The only iPod I've ever had was the iPod Classic, and I bought it years ago. I think I bought it in like 2012. I remember I bought it, and they were trying to clearance them out, and I had it for maybe about 6 or 7 months, because the only reason I got it is because it could hold so much music. I generally do not like Apple products, but because it could hold so much music at the time, that was the largest capacity that was available. But of course, now with SD cards getting so much bigger and faster, now that's not the problem. But I still have it. But anyways, I got it, and like 6 months later, they announced that they were discontinuing it altogether, so you can't get new ones anymore. And then suddenly, before I knew it, the value of my iPod Classic just shot through the roof. I bought mine for like $200, but then when they found out that they were being discontinued, people started buying them up for some reason. I guess they were like, "Oh, I better get one now." And so I started seeing them on eBay for like $360, all the way up to 400. And I was tempted to sell mine, but I was like, I'll hold on to it. And I'm glad I did, because 8 years later and it still works, which is good. And it still holds all my music. I think I'm done, man. 2 hour stream, that's about normal for me. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I wasn't gonna do a stream today. I keep telling myself to take a day off, and I keep ignoring that. But I felt I had to get on and at least talk about the news and stuff, because the world, or at least the United States, is going insane right now. So, anyways, I guess I'll see you guys later. Be safe. If you protest, be safe out there. Don't turn into a rioter. And I will be around in Discord. Until next time.